Good morning. Dwayne here, Dry Creek Wrangler School. We are filming from our new location here outside of Sheridan, Wyoming. We made it, I think it was Thursday at about 3:30 in the afternoon. And so we've been getting stuff unloaded and unpacked and organized and put away. And not a whole lot we can do outside, not as much as we would want to do because there's still a lot of snow up here, but we've had some warm days and the snow's melting pretty fast, and we have a lot of other stuff to get done. And so I was thinking, and I want to talk today a little bit about something. A lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about today, I've touched on different points in different talks, and I kind of want to, because this is where I'm at right now, and this is what's on my heart. So I kind of want to bring things together. A lot of people that comment and get on the channel, they talk about how they don't feel purpose. They don't have a fulfilled life. Now, people are different, and what will make one person fulfilled won't fulfill another person. And so this is definitely not this is what it has to be. And if you're not doing it like this, if this isn't how you feel, if this is not how you're reacting, if this isn't the direction you're going, then you need to get on the ball. It's not like that. But one of the things that just really saddens me when people talk is people who are living a life that is, they don't see a purpose. They don't see a direction. They're bored. They are without any dream for tomorrow, anything for tomorrow. I get up, I go to work, to a job that doesn't thrill me. I get a paycheck that doesn't provide anything extra. I come home to an apartment or a house that I don't really, it's not what I wanted. And I know that I'm going to be doing this tomorrow because I don't have anything else to do. I don't know what else to do. I don't know where else to go. To get out of that rut, and that's what it can turn into. It can turn into a rut. I think if there are some things that you have, some things that you concentrate on, it can help you get out of that rut. And again, there's not going to be anything new on here. We're just going to be putting some things together. I think the first thing a person needs is they need a dream. This school that Mom and I are building, this was our dream for 30 years. We tried to do this several years ago, and it didn't work. But we never lost the dream. And you got to have a dream. I don't know how people survive in life with any kind of peace or happiness or fulfillment without having a dream. Now, as I've mentioned before, a dream needs to be something that there is a possibility of fulfilling. Otherwise, it's not a dream, it's a fantasy. But you need a dream. And don't be afraid to dream big. The saying is that if your dreams don't scare you to death, they're not big enough. Your dream needs to be bigger than you are right now. If you have a dream and you say, I can fulfill that dream right now, today, that's not really a dream. And it's not big enough. And you will only succeed to the level of your dreams. And you won't get any further than that. You won't get any bigger than that. You won't accomplish any more than that. So you need a dream. A big, exciting, scary, fulfillable dream. Okay? And it has to be your dream. It can't be your parents' dream for you. It has to be your dream. And that's what Deanna and I, we had this dream to start this school 30 years ago. And we didn't see any way to do it. We didn't see how it's supposed to be done. I'm not a businessman. I'm not an administrator. I'm none of that stuff. And but this is what we wanted to do. Um, and so along with that dream, you have to have some flexibility. All right. So as the dream is taking place today, it's not in the exact form of what we originally thought it was going to be. Things came up and we're like, oh, well, we're not, that's not something really that we're very good at. We need to tweak that and adjust that a little bit. Keep moving forward, but have some flexibility. It's just like this trip up here I talked about. In the last video about guiding your caravan through. The dream was to get from Tennessee to Wyoming with all the people, all the vehicles, all the horses. But we set a path. We set a path to get from point A to point B. But there were certain times along the path that things came up, and we set a route. We're going to take this route. This is a route we're going to take to get there. But, like I talked about, we got to Guthrie, Oklahoma, and there were wildland fires. We had to take a different road. We had to take a different route. We got to York, Nebraska, and there were snowstorms in Wyoming. And so we sat there in York for 4 days. And we were going to take out of York. We were going to take up a road and go up and come out at Lusk into Wyoming and come up there. Well, the weather and the road closures and everything were like we had to change our route. We had to go over to Cheyenne, spend the night in Cheyenne, make sure the road was clear the next day, and come on up. There had to be flexibility in our schedule and in the route that we took. And when you set a dream and you say, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and you make a plan, and then plans are good. But if you come to a certain point where there's a tree across the road or the bridge is out, you can't say, well, there goes my dream. You've got to be flexible. Well, what am I going to do? What adjustments am I going to make to be able to still get to where I'm going, to be what I want to be? You need some flexibility. You need discipline. You need personal discipline. There's times when you don't feel like doing what needs to be done to get this. But you got to say, feelings has nothing to do with it. This is my dream. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do the things that I don't feel like doing. I'm going to do the things I don't want to do. I'm going to do the things that don't come easy to me, that do not come natural to me. I'm going to get up and do it. You can't live your life on feelings. You're going to have feelings, okay, but you cannot let your feelings dictate what you are or are not going to do today, okay? You got to have personal discipline. We talked about this before. Sometimes 4 years of college and a degree is part of your path to get where you're going, if for no other reason, to teach you discipline. I have to study. I have to do finals. I can't go to that party. I can't go to there. I can't do that because I'm having a hard time in chemistry. It doesn't come easy. And so I've got to discipline myself, and I have to sit down and I have to spend this evening studying so I can pass that test tomorrow while all my friends are out partying and having fun. You got to have some personal discipline. You got to have personal discipline in work. This life, the horse life. What we're doing here, you got to have personal discipline. We were in Cheyenne, and it was, we were going to try to pull out at 9 o'clock in the morning. Mom and I found a place to board the horses for the night, and we just pulled our trailer up and plugged it in, the horse trailer, and we had a little electric heater in there, and so we just slept in there, so we stayed with the horses. Well, the plan was to leave at 9 o'clock in the morning, and so I got up at 6. It was 19 degrees out. But I got up at 6, got out of that trailer, and went out and dug hay out, broke it open and fed the horses so they would have time to eat for 3 hours before we loaded up and left. Didn't feel like getting out of bed out in the middle of Cheyenne and 19 degrees and in the dark out there and feed the horses. But we had a goal, and the stop in Cheyenne was a flexibility issue, and the weather came up and what it was. But we had a plan and we had a goal, and so it took personal discipline to do what needs to be done to meet our schedule and to meet what we needed to do, because I needed to get up here from Cheyenne to Sheridan in time to get the horses out, make sure the fence and everything was good, get everything fed, get stuff unloaded, and do all that before dark. You got to have some personal discipline. Sometimes the only thing that keeps people in life from succeeding is just a lack of discipline. And there's some guys on the internet who teach this much better than I can, much better than I do. And you know, people, they go the route of motivation. You cannot set yourself up to depend on being motivated. Because motivation is what? What's motivation? Motivation is a feeling. That's somebody pumping up your feelings to get you encouraged to do what you should do. Well, what happens when you don't have the motivation? You just have the personal discipline. So you gotta set it. You gotta have a dream. You gotta set a goal. You gotta be flexible in that, and you gotta be motivated, self-motivated, self-discipline. Sorry, there I'm stumbling over myself. You gotta have discipline. And the other thing is you have to have patience. Young people, and I was young one time. All right, I was. I know I don't look like it, but there was a time when I was young. You got to be patient. One of the problems, one of the pitfalls I see with young people getting their direction and their encouragement and everything from the internet is I'm gonna be a millionaire by the time I'm 26. That's not practical. That's not. Some people do it. It's rare. Some people do. But you know, it's like the video I did. At what age should you have everything together? For us normal people, it takes time. Because not only do you have to mature and grow, there's things in life that if you have a big enough dream, you're not the person you need to be right now to fulfill that dream. Now you keep moving towards it. You keep doing what needs to be done. But at the same time, you realize that you yourself are gaining in knowledge and in experience and in personal growth, and that sometimes you're not ready. The dream isn't ready for you, and you're not ready for your own dream. Next week, what is today? I don't know what today is. I think today, today's the 8th. Tomorrow's Easter Sunday. 8, 9, 10, 11. On the 11th, I'll be 56. Okay? And I've been chasing this for 20 years. And so I'm just now starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel and hoping it's not a freight train coming the other way. But you got to be patient. You have to be patient. Things have to come at the right time. You know, as I've talked about before, a big ship fixing to take a journey, the tide has to be right before they can leave the dock. You got to wait for the tide to be right. You got to be able to, you have to be able to sit in some little place called York, Nebraska for 4 days, waiting for the weather to clear. Well, you're going to have the York, Nebraskas in your life. There's going to be places in your life that you're going to have to sit for longer than you wanted to sit. We wanted to spend one night there, but we had to be patient because the timing wasn't right. And so while we were there, we did some stuff and got some stuff organized and got some stuff taken care of so that the time was utilized. And then when the time was right, we moved on. So, you know, a trip that I wanted to make in 4 days took me 7, which was still pretty dang good this time of year with what we were doing. But there's a trip in your life that you want to take 2 years, and it might take 10 years. And you want to make that trip in 10 years. Well, it might take 20 years. And just because you're not at your destination right now does not mean you failed to reach your destination. It just means you're not there right now. Okay? So you've got to have patience. You've got to stay the course. Be flexible. Be disciplined. And never lose sight of the base core of your dream. I love teaching. I love it. And I love teaching horses. Base core of my dream was I wanted to teach horsemanship at a very base level that everybody could understand and to help folks. That was the base core dream. I wanted to introduce as many people as I could who wanted to come into the horse life and saw no other way to do it. I wanted to provide that door for them to walk through and come in to enjoy what my wife and I enjoy. You know, if you really enjoy something, you want to share it with others. And that's what it was us. My wife and I have loved this life for so many years, the horses and everything that goes with it, the riding, the wrangling, the open country, that we wanted to share it with others. That was the base dream. And we never lost sight of that. Never lost sight of it. And so I just want to encourage you today, if you're sitting somewhere and you're like, I don't see a way. Now, some of you had a dream. Now, listen to me. When you were younger, you had a dream. But you got married and had a couple kids, and now you're like, well, that dream is dead. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You're not done yet. And you just may need to be a little bit flexible and a little patient. Not now does not mean not ever. And not this way does not mean not at all. All right? Don't give up on your dream. I said, Dwayne, I always wanted to be a veterinarian. That was when I was a little kid. That was my dream. That's what I always wanted. But I got a job in construction, driving heavy equipment. And I never really left my heart in the back of my mind to be a veterinarian. But I got a good job and I wound up with a family and I've got responsibilities and I got to pay the mortgage. Okay. All right. It doesn't mean not ever. It means not now. Maybe this job that you have, if you start reformulating things, reorganizing things, maybe you can use this job to pay for starting to go to school at night and begin. You say, well, I'm 55 years old. Well, you're not dead, are you? You're not dead, are you? All right. You say, well, Dwayne, I've become an alcoholic and I've got dependent on drugs. You can quit. Millions of people all over this world have got in that trap. It's a trap. And they got out of it. If they can get out of it, you can get out of it. You might need to find some help. But there's plenty of help out there if you go looking for it. And so if you got sidetracked from your dream, that doesn't mean that you've lost your dream. It doesn't mean that you missed it. Your dream's always in front of you. You don't go by it. Okay? You're not going down a highway and, oh, there goes my dream. I missed the exit. I'll never get it. No. That's not it. All right? If that's got you discouraged and hopeless and lost because you're like, I'm 60 years old. People graduate from high school at 80. That was always their dream. I just want to graduate high school. People going to college, 70, 80 years old, getting their degree. That was always their dream, to get a degree. And they're like, doggone it. I raised my kids. I did my family. I did what needed to be done. And now I'm at a point in my life, I can turn around and start back in the direction that I always wanted to go. Don't quit. Don't give up. Don't become so rigid and inflexible that you can't modify your path and modify your schedule to get where you're going. Because if you quit that easy, you never really wanted it that bad. All right? So hopelessness is a state of mind. Don't live your entire life hopeless and unfulfilled. As long as you're moving towards your dream. You say, Dwayne, what if I'm so far away from my dream now that I die before I actually reach it? Die on the road. Die on the road. All right? Go to your dream. And if you never make it, if you die before you get to your dream, die going to your dream. All right? At least you will finish this world going somewhere, not just sitting, saying, man, if only. If only. There are no if onlys. There is, what are we going to do now? What direction are we going to do now? Where are we taking now? Okay? So I want to be an encouragement to you. The school, we're on schedule. First class, first day of the first class is April 30th. And I hope the snow's gone. I hope we'll have everything done by then. So we're booked all the way up into August now. And so if you're wanting to come this year, you best get on the stick. Get on www.drycreekwranglers.com. Check the schedule. Give Mama a call and chase that dream. Chase that dream, okay? And so we're going to be we're moving forward. School's going to be taking place here, and before you know it, and so we're excited about it. And so what do we got going on here? For those who are going to ask, this is a new one for me. The cigar, it's a La Aurora 115. It's a 115th anniversary. It's a different cigar. I've never had it before. It's medium strength for me, medium complexity, but it's got a lot of really nice flavors, and it's really smooth. And I'm not even sure where I got it. I think it came in a box of stuff, box of cigars I got somewhere. I'm not sure, but it's a good cigar. Okay, so be logical, be reasonable, be safe, and have fun. If you've stopped having fun, you've stopped living. We'll catch you guys next time.